Did you know that pandas are actually bears? And not just any bears, but the only bears that primarily eat plants. That's right, their diet is 99% bamboo, and they can munch through 40 pounds of it a day. But here's the real kicker. They only digest 17% of it. Talk about a picky eater. Now, when it comes to types, there are two distinct kinds of pandas, the giant panda and the red panda. Although they share the name panda, they are quite different animals. The giant panda, part of the bear family, is a large, iconic creature with a striking black and white coat. They are primarily found in the bamboo forests of China. On the other hand, red pandas belong to their own family and are much smaller, featuring a reddish-brown coat and a bushy tail. Their diet is more varied, including fruits, acorns, and insects along with bamboo. Red pandas live in the temperate forests of the Himalayas and southwestern China, often at higher altitudes than their giant counterparts. Giant pandas are found exclusively in China, which is due to their evolutionary history and specific habitat needs. They are endemic to China, meaning they are not found naturally anywhere else in the wild. These animals have adapted to the unique mountainous regions of Sichuan, Shaanxi, and Gansu provinces, where they flourish in bamboo forests. These regions provide the dense bamboo understory that makes up 99% of their diet. Pandas prefer habitats located at elevations between 5,000 and 10,000 feet, where the climate is cool and moist, ideal for bamboo growth. The isolation of their habitat has resulted in a fragmented population, with pandas now limited to about 20 isolated patches of bamboo forest. One of the most intriguing aspects of giant pandas is their bamboo diet. Although they are classified as carnivores, giant pandas have adapted to a herbivorous lifestyle, consuming up to 99% bamboo. Researchers are still exploring how they digest this tough plant and what nutritional adaptations enable them to thrive on such a low-energy diet. Giant pandas are typically recognized for their calm and gentle nature, but like all bears, they can show aggression, particularly when they feel threatened or trapped. In their natural habitat, pandas tend to be solitary creatures that avoid conflict. However, if provoked or if their cubs are at risk, they can become very protective. Interestingly, despite their cuddly and harmless image, they are actually considered to have a relatively high level of aggression compared to other bear species. Generally, people do not fear giant pandas, but it's important to exercise caution due to their unpredictable behavior. There have been a few recorded attacks on humans, especially in captivity. For instance, on June 7, 2009, a 39-year-old male tourist fell into a panda enclosure at the Beijing City Zoo and was attacked, highlighting that even these seemingly gentle giants can be dangerous if provoked. Additionally, in September 2024, a panda at a zoo in Chongqing, China, reportedly trapped and bit a female zookeeper during a feeding session, showcasing their strength and potential for aggression. While there were 3 notable attacks at the Beijing Zoo between 2006 and 2009, fortunately, none resulted in fatalities. These incidents remind us that, despite their cute appearance, giant pandas are still wild animals that deserve our respect and caution. The food chain for giant pandas primarily begins with bamboo, which serves as the main producer, and pandas themselves as the primary consumers. Conservation efforts aimed at protecting panda habitats have resulted in notable ecological advantages, such as carbon storage and the safeguarding of unique temperate forests that boast biodiversity comparable to that of tropical ecosystems. Giant pandas, although they are classified as bears and have the anatomical structure of omnivores, mainly eat bamboo because of a unique evolutionary adaptation. Even though their digestive system resembles that of a carnivore, their taste buds have changed to prefer plant material, especially bamboo, which makes up about 99% of their diet. This change is mainly due to the loss of certain taste receptors, particularly the gene that detects umami, a flavor typically linked to meat. This specialized diet is also a result of their environment and the abundance of bamboo, which they need to consume in large amounts, averaging between 12 to 38 kilograms each day, to fulfill their energy requirements. Giant pandas are famously known for their love of bamboo, but they can actually survive without it, although it's not the best situation for them. They might occasionally eat small rodents and other edible plants, but this only makes up about 1% of their diet. This indicates that they can turn to alternative food sources when necessary. However, their digestive systems, which are adapted for omnivores, have evolved to primarily thrive on bamboo. They aren't as efficient at extracting nutrients from meat, which is why they depend so much on bamboo. In the wild, adult giant pandas have very few natural enemies because of their impressive size and solitary behavior. However, young cubs are more at risk and can be targeted by various predators, such as snow leopards, yellow-throated martens, the Asian black bear, and jackals. These animals can attack and consume panda cubs, particularly when they are left alone. Besides predation, giant pandas also face serious threats from habitat loss caused by deforestation and human encroachment, which diminishes their main food source. Furthermore, climate change presents a long-term risk by changing the environments where bamboo grows, putting these cherished animals in even greater danger. The giant panda first caught the attention of the Western world in 1869, thanks to a French missionary and naturalist named Armand David. While on a mission in China, he came across a striking black and white bear and brought back a specimen, which ignited interest in this remarkable species. The name panda is thought to have come from the Nepalese term Negalia ponya, meaning bamboo eater. Initially, this name referred to the red panda, but it eventually became linked to the giant panda as well. In Chinese, the giant panda is called xiongmao, which translates to bear cat. The giant panda has a captivating evolutionary history that showcases its unique adaptations and connections within the bear family. The earliest known ancestor of the giant panda is thought to be Ailuridae, which existed around 7 million years ago. This lineage eventually led to the modern giant panda, which appeared roughly 3 million years ago during the Pleistocene epoch. Despite their similar names, the giant panda and red panda belong to different families. The giant panda is part of the bear family, while the red panda is classified under the family Ailuridae. One of the giant panda's most distinctive features, its false thumb, evolved to assist in grasping bamboo. This adaptation is a remarkable example of evolutionary specialization, enabling the giant panda to thrive in its bamboo-rich environment. Similar to other bears, giant pandas are surprisingly good swimmers. They have strong muscles and natural buoyancy, which helps them move through water with ease. Pandas often swim to avoid threats or just to take a refreshing swim. Even young panda cubs, starting at around 5 months old, begin to learn how to climb trees and swim. Giant pandas are famous for their relaxed way of life, which involves a lot of sleeping. On average, they snooze for about 10 to 12 hours each day. In the wild, pandas usually take short naps between their frequent bamboo meals, resting for 2 to 4 hours at a time. They often sleep sprawled out on their sides, backs, or curled up, depending on what feels comfortable. This extensive sleeping routine helps them save energy as they spend most of their waking hours, around 10 to 16 hours, searching for and munching on bamboo. Giant pandas may not be the quickest animals in the wild, but they can still surprise you with their speed. They can reach a top speed of about 20 miles per hour when needed. While this speed is impressive for such a large and seemingly clumsy creature, pandas aren't built for endurance and generally prefer a more relaxed pace. In fact, their average moving speed is around 26.9 meters per hour. This means that while they can sprint when necessary, they usually take their time, especially when searching for their favorite food, bamboo. Giant pandas demonstrate an unexpected level of intelligence, particularly in their specialized behaviors. While they are frequently viewed as gentle and somewhat clumsy, they actually possess several cognitive skills that support their survival. For instance, pandas are recognized as effective problem solvers, especially when it comes to finding food. They can remember where bamboo patches are and have been observed using tools, such as manipulating branches to reach leaves that are higher up. Additionally, pandas depend significantly on their sense of smell for communication, using it to share information about their territory and reproductive status. Giant pandas have a unique and somewhat challenging mating process. Female pandas are only fertile for a brief window of 2 to 3 days each year, typically during the spring months of March to May. This limited fertility period makes timing crucial for successful mating. When a female is in estrus, she emits specific vocalizations and pheromones to attract males. Males, on the other hand, may engage in competitive displays to win the female's attention. Once a female is receptive, she will turn her back to the male and raise her tail, signaling her readiness to mate. Mating can last several days, with pairs often staying together during this time. After mating, the gestation period for giant pandas lasts between 95 and 160 days, with an average of about 135 days. Interestingly, after fertilization, the embryo can delay implantation, which leads to the variation in gestation length. When it comes to giving birth, female giant pandas typically look for a secluded den, often found in a hollow tree or a sheltered spot in the forest. Most of the time, pandas give birth to a single cub, although twins can happen, particularly in captivity. In the wild, however, it's more common for only one cub to survive due to the mother's limited capacity to care for multiple young. The cubs are born blind and helpless, weighing around 90 to 130 grams. The cubs are generally born in late summer, around August, and are cared for in the concealed dens to promote their safety and development. Giant pandas have a relatively long lifespan and go through distinct stages of development. They are considered babies from birth until about 1.5 years old, during which they rely entirely on their mothers for care. From 1.5 years to around 4 to 6 years, they enter a teenage phase where they gain independence and reach sexual maturity. Once they hit 4 to 6 years, they are classified as adults and can reproduce until their 20s. In the wild, giant pandas usually live for 15 to 20 years, but in captivity, they can live up to 30 years or even longer. The oldest recorded giant panda lived to an impressive 38 years. This record was held by Jia, a remarkable female born in 1978, who became a cherished resident of Ocean Park in Hong Kong after her arrival in 1999. Her long life was celebrated as a significant achievement in panda conservation, demonstrating the care and attention provided in captivity. Jia's life spanned several decades, during which she became a symbol of hope for her species, which faces numerous threats in the wild due to habitat loss and other environmental challenges. She passed away in 2016, leaving behind a legacy that underscores the importance of conservation efforts for giant pandas and their habitats. The latest estimates indicate that there are about 1,864 giant pandas living in the wild. This figure represents a notable recovery thanks to extensive conservation efforts over the last few decades. Alongside those in their natural habitat, roughly 600 giant pandas reside in zoos and breeding centers around the globe. Although the wild population is on the rise, pandas are still classified as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List, underscoring the persistent challenges they encounter from habitat loss and environmental changes. YouTube thinks you will love this video, so check it out. Also guys, please help me by liking this video so YouTube can show this to more curious people like you and me.